Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl MISO back with another video. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome to the chan fam. Okay, so those of you who may not know me and this is your first time meeting me, hi, my name is MISO. I am a medical student at the University of Lusaka. I'm going into my second year, which means I've completed my first year and I cleared. Thank God. Yeah, I cleared, and I think I now have a pretty good idea of what it's like to be a first year student, and now I definitely have a whole entire list of things I wish I didn't do and things I wish I did, things that I wish I knew before that I'm going to share with you guys because I'm just nice like that. Before I get into the semantics, before I dive deep into today's video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already so that you join the chan fan. And don't forget, if your post notifications are not on, switch them on so that every time I post a video like this, it shows up on your FYP, period. So I'm going to be talking about things in 4 different categories simply because I like things to be organized. I want you guys to be able to follow through every single thing that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to go into absolute detail. Okay, so if you even want to get a pen and paper out, do that because I'm going to be going into detail about what you should do, what you should not do. This video is going to be very specific to the University of Lusaka and extra specific to medical students, but anybody can really use this video to like figure out their life, you know what I mean? So the 4 categories I'm going to be talking about is, first of all, school. I'm going to be diving deep into how to clear a semester. Okay, second thing I'm going to be talking about is your social life, dating, relationships, friendships, drama, how to figure everything out, right? The third thing I'm going to be talking about is adulting, things like budgeting, how to be an adult, how to live away from your parents, how to be a good human being to society instead of a useless thing that everybody is trying to get rid of, okay? And then the last thing I'm going to be talking about, which for me is the most important, spirituality, how to make sure you maintain a relationship with God during your university years. I'm going to try to use personal examples. You guys know me, I don't do story times on this channel. I don't. I don't do story times on this channel. I don't use people's names unless they show up on my channel and are my friends. I don't tell people's business on my channel, okay? I don't tell people my personal things. If I am in a relationship, I don't show people. But because I genuinely want my advice to be coming from a personal perspective, I will be using personal examples. So let's dive into it because I know you guys don't want me to be talking too much in an introduction. So let's get straight into it, okay? Okay, I am going to be referring to my laptop, which is right here, because I took notes and I want to make sure that I'm telling you guys everything and I'm not forgetting anything, okay? First thing we're going to be talking about is school. And I want to get straight into it, okay? Take school seriously from the beginning. It's not high school anymore, okay? There's no such thing as the first couple of days or weeks is chills and then you get serious, because that's what people did and it was not the vibe. Like, you're going to get overwhelmed if you wait until the week before exams to start studying. Take school seriously from the beginning, but at the same time, don't be too serious in the beginning, because the beginning of a semester is really your time to unwind also and kind of like take in everything. Because what we did first semester, we were too serious in the beginning. You know, you need to have a balance, because me and my friends were too serious in the beginning, always studying, always in the library, always doing school things. And then by the time we got burnt out, exams were about to start and we realized everybody else had enjoyed life and then started studying. But at the same time, second semester, we made the mistake of doing it the exact opposite way, where we were not serious until exams. And because of that, Okay, by the time exams came around, we became overwhelmed. So my advice to you, if you're starting first year and you're about to go into school, I know by the time this video comes out, January intake for 2025, you guys are about to start. I think your orientation is on Monday. This video is coming out on Friday, which means you have about a week and a half until your classes actually start. So I hope by then you would have watched this and digested everything I'm saying. And if you're watching this like later for other intakes, the same rules apply always. Okay, find a balance. Don't be too stiff in the beginning and don't be too relaxed in the beginning. Chill, spend time with your friends, make sure you have a lot of like time to explore things. Don't be too serious, but at the same time, take your school seriously. So don't be too serious as a person, but also take your school seriously. It's not a joke. It's medicine specifically. It's not a joke. It's not for fun. It's not games. But also don't allow yourself to be burnt out. It's basically what I'm trying to say. The second thing I would advise you to do is find a healthy school life balance. It kind of goes into the first thing that I said, but this one is more specific. Okay, I'll give a personal example. So I have a tendency to pour more into one area of my life than another. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of things you're going to want to balance: extracurriculars, your mental health, church, school, friendships, God forbid, relationships. Make sure you find a way to balance all of that from the beginning. Don't leave it and say it will figure itself out later, because then what will happen? Everything will start to crash. A jack of all trades is a master at none, my dear. Okay, so make sure you find a very healthy balance that's not going to weigh on your mental health. Make sure if you're studying, you're not studying to the point where your friends never see you. Okay, if you're going out with your friends, make sure you still have time to go and study. You know, find a very healthy balance, because if you don't, you're going to crash out, and you're going to crash out during exam season, and then you're going to wish you didn't, because then when you get your results, oh, you've gotten 15%. The third thing I would advise you to do is make sure you stay on top of all your semester work from the beginning. What I'm saying is you're going to get assignments, yeah? You're going to get assignments, you're going to get lab work, you're going to get quizzes and tests from your lecturers. Make sure all of those things, you know what's happening around you. You don't get lost. You're staying on top of all of your work. You're handing in your things on time. Make sure. And the reason why I'm saying this, your CA, your continuous assessment, to me, I think it's more important than your final exams. That's the truth. I think if you're a person who focuses on your final exam more than you focus on your CA, that's why people fail. Don't allow yourself to become overwhelmed, because the second you do that, you're not going to be able to handle everything at once. Don't let everything pile up. Don't let things catch up to you. Make sure you're on top of everything and you know what you can handle. With that in mind, I also would advise you to make sure you're handing in all your work as soon as you get it. As in, if you get an assignment and it's due in 10 days, make sure you've done it in the first 5 days of you having that assignment. Don't allow yourself to become overwhelmed by all your work. It's not a good idea. I promise you. I know this is probably common sense, but the second you're like starting like your schooling, it really becomes difficult to follow that. But just make sure that like you're not overwhelmed. Make sure you're like keeping up with all of your work. Labs. Now let's talk about lab work. Okay, this is important. I think this is one of the most important things you're going to need to know. We learned how to do labs in the lab on the day that we're doing our labs, and because of that we failed our labs the first time, like badly. Especially chem labs. Yo, don't do it. Don't go in blind. I wish there was somebody on the internet telling me what I should have done before I went. But yeah, essentially you're going to be given labs. You're going to do them either every week or every 2 weeks, depending on how big your intake is. And you're going to have labs for 3 out of your 4 courses, which is physics, chemistry, and biology labs. Your labs will be on different days. You won't do all of them on the same day unless your timetable is weird. anything is possible with unilus, though I don't want to lie to you. When you do get a lab report, they won't care if it's your first one or not. They're going to mark you based off of how good your lab report is done. The correct way to do your lab reports are group work. Group work in university sucks, okay? Because some people are going to work more than other people. If you're one of those people who's going to be like depending on other people to do your work for you so that you clear, may God be with you, because it's actually not funny. You're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to be doing labs with other people. Either they'll put you in groups for you, or you choose your own groups depending on your lab instructor. The correct way to do your group work for labs, don't make the mistake of being on some let's meet and discuss everything and write our everything one by one by one. A lab report is going to have different sections. There's going to be a title page, there's going to be an introduction, there's going to be an abstract, there's going to be a section for your results that you would have made in the lab, there's going to be a section for your discussion to discuss what you have come up with, and there's going to be a conclusion. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but basically that's the gist of it, okay? So you're going to do your lab work inside the lab. Outside of the lab, you're going to take the results that you had and come up with a lab report. You have a week to come up with that lab report. As a group, while you are in the lab, come up with who is doing what, okay? Who is going to be doing the title page and putting everything together? Who is going to be doing the discussion? Who is going to be doing the conclusion, etc, etc, etc. You all take the results, distribute the ones that you had in the lab, then you do a write-up of everything. Everybody does their part and you agree on a date which every part is due. So then you can then meet and like give each other your parts and say, this is what I did. Or you can just send it into a group digitally, and then the person who's compiling compiles and then sends to everyone so that everyone can be like, okay, I approve of this. And then once everyone has agreed that the lab report is okay, you print it and hand it in. My advice, make sure the deadline for your report is within the first 4 or 5 days. So within the first 4 or 5 days, make sure everybody has handed in their part of the report. If that's enough time, if anyone has not given, okay, let me get to that. But yeah, that's enough time for everybody, no excuses. On the 6th day, which is the day before it is due, the person who is compiling must have finished compiling and must print it out. Don't print it out the day that it's due and expect yourself to be handing it in on the same day. A lot of people do that, but a lot of things can happen. You can say, I'm going to print it in the morning and then hand it in the afternoon. And then in the morning, something comes up and then you miss your deadline. And now your entire group is getting a 0 out of 10, you know? So make sure that report is printed out the day before so that the next day you give it to your class reps or to your lab instructor, whichever chain of communication is there for your intake, and make sure you're handed in. If somebody is not working in your group, don't put up with nonsense, because a lot of people are going to be depending on you to work hard so that they can eat off of your work and then get a 9 out of 10 when they did nothing. I personally don't care if people don't like me when it comes to my grades. I don't care. I will report. So basically, if someone is not working in your lab group or is not handing in work, or they're handing in things that are subpar and you can tell they're not trying, which forces other people to do the work for them, report them to the lab instructor. Remove their name from your lab reports and move on with your life. I'm not the kind of person who's okay with people eating off of my work. So you shouldn't be either. I've once written entire lab reports, plural, on my own start to finish. A report that's supposed to be written by 8 to 10 people, I did it by myself. And then everyone got the grade. So yeah, we're not doing that, okay? Speaking of the importance of lab reports, here's why they're important. I'm going to be giving you the formula for clearing the semester. How to clear the semester every single time. Kind of. Fingers crossed. So there's going to be this thing called continuous assessment, and then there's going to be your final exams. Your continuous assessment is basically your lab reports. That's 10 out of 40. Assignments and your quizzes are another 10%. and then your mid-semester exams is 20%, and that in total makes 40% of your final grade. I personally think your CA is more important than your final exams, and this is why. Final exams are out of 60, your CA is out of 40. But it's easier for you to get a higher CA and then not have to like do the most for your final exams for you to clear, because you need a 50 to clear, than it is for you to fail your CA and then have to push it up with your final exams. Because remember, your mid-semester exam is a good 20%. I think it is, yeah, it's 20%, yeah, out of your entire 40 for your CA. That entire 20% is made up of half of your course content for that entire semester, like about half or just more than half. It's in the middle of the semester, literally. So because of that, you have less to study than you will for your final exams, and I personally think you have more time to have studied from the beginning, so you will be more familiar with that stuff than you will be with the stuff that comes after your mid-semester exams. If you make sure you get a really good mark for your mid-semesters, and then you make sure you're getting amazing marks for all your assignments, hand them in on time, make sure you do them diligently. For your labs, make sure your labs are on fleek, on point. Don't allow yourself to get bad results for your labs. All in all, your CA, for you to be safe, should be more than half. But I think your CA should be closer to 30 or just above 30 for you to be sure that you're going to clear the semester. Here's why. Hear me out. If your CA is close to 30, you know definitely now you just need a 20% out of your entire 100 to clear the whole semester. 20 out of that 60%. Which is probably, if you have a 30 already, you just need to get like a 30 something percent in your actual exam paper out of 100, or 40 something percent out of 100 to clear the semester. And obviously for some people, like, you're going to get more than that. You're going to get like your 60s, 70s, maybe even 80s. For the smart kids, maybe even 90s. That way, you're definitely guaranteed you're going to pass, not only just to clear, but with B's and A's, because all you needed was a 30-something percent just to clear, and you got 70%. But now, if you fail your CA and you fail your mid-semester exams, now you need to be getting a 60-something percent just to clear, which is hard. I don't want to lie to you, finals are not easy, especially for your second semester of your first year. Finals are not easy. Right, depending on the subject as well, your finals will eat you alive. Now imagine you have to get more than half in your exam paper, and it's just to clear. It's not even for a B or an A. Don't fail your CA, don't fail your mids, don't fail your assignments and your labs, because you're going to pay for it, and you're going to have to work extra hard just to clear towards the end than you will compared to somebody who would have focused on their CA and put a lot of effort into their CA. That person will not have to put as much effort into finals, and those are the people you see that will be like very relaxed going into that exam room, because they know that no matter what happens, as long as I get like above 40%, I'm cool. Now, another thing that I would definitely advise you to do is balance all your courses. Don't have favorites. Okay, there's going to be some courses that are going to be easier than others. There are going to be some courses where the lecturer is going to be, I don't want to say more competent, that's mean, but where the lecturer is going to be easier to deal with than others, where the lecturer will be easier to understand than others, where the lecturer will know more about what they're teaching than others. But regardless of what your lecturer or your favorite or what, make sure you are balancing all your courses equally. Treat them all equally. Don't neglect any of your courses for another one, okay? Because all it takes is one course to make you repeat an entire semester. At unilus specifically, if you fail one course, you're not going to carry it over, for medicine at least, you're not going to carry it over to the next semester. You're going to repeat the semester that you're doing, and that one course will be all you're doing for the next 6 months. So don't allow yourself to get behind on a single course. Balance all of them. Take all of them seriously. Now, another thing that I would advise you to do is study in groups. Make sure you have a study group. I advise you not to make study groups in the first couple of weeks of being there. The first couple of weeks, I need you to be figuring out your own study routine and figuring out your strengths, because if you make study groups in the very beginning, you don't know who's smart and who's not. Just because somebody was raising their hands in the first week of school, I can give you 10 people in my class right now that were participating like crazy people in the first couple of weeks, and then they went as soon as the semester progressed. And then there's some people obviously who will be consistent. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, my friend group was the always hands up in class. If you interact in class, it's really helpful. That's another thing I would advise you to do. Make sure you're participating in class. But like, even to the end, that's how we were. But not everyone was like that. Like, my friend group was an exception, I think, because I don't know anyone else whose friend group started like that and ended like that. That same energy, a lot of people don't carry it. So you need to see like who's actually passing this course. Who do I need to be helping me with chemistry? Okay, who's going to be helping me with biology? And make sure you're not a leech. Don't be a leech. I hate that so much. My friends are a lot more lenient than I am. I personally won't entertain you if I can tell you're a leech. Like, if I know that I have my strengths and my weaknesses. So if someone needs help from me, I'll be able to help them. But at the same time, I'll be able to learn from them. Don't be that person who has nothing to offer, but you want to be like going to somebody and being like, let's have a study group, And I'm not saying be a super smart person. We're all in university, we're all trying to learn. But when I say study group, I mean you're studying together, not they are tutoring you for free. Don't go to people and expect them to be tutoring you for free, because that's not fair. People also want to study. People also want to learn they want to learn their things. People are also here to do their things. And if you just waste their time and be like, okay, I didn't even read on my own, I didn't even study, but I want you to tutor me, can you teach me this? That's not fair. So be a fair person, basically. That's all I'm saying. I think I already touched on this, but when you're in class, interact in that class. Don't just be somebody who's going to be sitting, because it's very easy for you to remember things if you actively were learning them if you were active when you were learning them. So make sure you're raising your hand in class. Talk to the lecturers, even if you don't like the lecturers, because I can tell you right now, I didn't like a specific lecturer last semester. If you know, you know, but I still participated in that class, and because of that, I would even remember certain things that were taught in that class. Make sure you attend all your classes. Don't skip lectures. Obviously, there's going to be times where you can't attend all your lectures. You can't really be available for all of them. Some things are gonna pop up, but if it's not something you can avoid, like if it's avoidable, avoid it. Go for your class. Let's get into part 2 of this, which is social advice. What to do in your social life and how to balance it all, child. First thing I'm going to be talking about is your friendships, okay? You're going to make friends. That's very obvious. You're going to meet people from all types of backgrounds and all types of places. So you're going to need to go with an open mind to university. Don't be closed-minded. Not everyone grew up in your household. Not everyone grew up with your parents. Not everyone grew up with the same rules at your house, with the same values and the same beliefs. So don't judge people. Don't judge it. We are all persons. You're a person. I'm a person. We're all persons. Life is like rice. So don't judge it, okay? We listen, we don't judge. But at the same time, try to align yourself with people with similar values when you make friendships, so that you don't clash along the way. Because trust me, if you try to make friends with people who grew up opposite directions to you and you try to be close with them, I'm not saying opposites don't attract, but also just remember that fire and gasoline creates a boom. So nah, let's not do that. You're going to also fall out with a lot of people. A lot of the friends that you make in the first couple of weeks of uni are not going to be your friends in the end. Some people are fortunate enough to make friends and then keep them like that, but it's very normal for you to like make friends then fall out, then make friends in the beginning, because you're all trying to figure out who do I gel with. So don't be afraid to go out there and make more friends or make new friends. Don't be afraid to make friends. It's part of the journey, and you can't do this alone. You're going to need your friends because you're going to go through things, child. I don't want to lie to you. You're going to need people around you. You're going to need to surround yourself with important people. Make sure that when you're keeping a close circle, your circle is like, what I mean by close circle, I mean like a circle, okay? Make sure you have demarcations for your friend. Don't call everybody you meet your friend, okay? Have people who you understand they're just classmates that I smile at. These are just acquaintances. These are just people I know from church. These are just people what. And then these are my friends. These are my close friends. And then this is my best friend. Everybody must have a demarcation. Don't say I don't know where this one stands. If you don't know, that's already a red flag. Like, make sure you know where everyone in your life stands, and make sure you keep your circle very small though, like your inner circle. It's okay to have a lot of friends. I personally advise it to have a lot of people that you talk to and call your friends. I should start doing that more often because I feel like I just wait for people to come talk to me because I'm shy. Please come talk to me and be my friend. Because I'm shy. Regardless of all that, I have my close circle of friends. I have 3 people who are like family to me, and those 3 people are the only 3 people I will tell certain things to. You should know, okay, who is inside of the mafia and who is not in the mafia, okay? Who will get you arrested and who will help you hide the body. The second thing that I would advise you, don't date. Don't date in your first year of university. I know. Shamiso, you had a boyfriend. You dated. You went out and did whatnot. You dated. Shamiso, you're being a hypocrite. No, I'm telling you because I wish I didn't do it, okay? I feel like your first year of university, guys, there's time. I thought the first year was not going to end. I wanted to live in the now, but now I'm going to second year and I'm like, I wish I didn't do that, because now there's so many things that I didn't experience or get to live out because I was busy wasting my time with the other gender, okay? Same goes for guys. Like, don't waste your time with my gender. Like, we're useless. Don't do it, okay? Because I think first year is supposed to be the time where you're figuring out who you are, what you like, you know, outside of being in your parents' house, okay? This is your first time living on your own as your own person. Figure that out, okay? Figure out healthy balance with your friends. You're making friends, you're making new experiences and memories. Focus on that, okay? So that the things that you do this year are wholesome and actually done to completion, okay? Don't try and juggle friendships that are new and not even like baked with a guy. I'm going into second year and I'm still trying to figure out who I am. Obviously, like, it's a process and it's very common, but like, I feel like I would have been a lot closer to that if I had just focused on me. The first time I took myself on a solo date, guys, was the end of first year. I should be ashamed. Honestly, I should be ashamed. Okay? Don't date. I really hope you guys listen to me, but I know you're not gonna. Which is why I'm just going to give you advice on what to do if you do decide to date, because there are some mistakes we should just avoid even if we make the mistake of getting into mjolo, okay? Which is, number 1, don't let this person become the center of your life. If anything, give them 15% of your life and then the rest of it, keep it to yourself. Don't allow them to have too much of your energy and your time. And I'm not saying this because relationships are bad or anything, but like, you need to still distribute the other 85% to your school, to your friends, to your relationship with God, to yourself. You have a lot of things that you need to be figuring out. Don't make all your memories with just this one person. It's not good. It won't benefit you in any way, and you're just going to end up regretting it. Don't give up too much of yourself for another person in university, especially in your first year, especially if you're doing medicine, because remember, like, the purpose of dating should be marriage. It's not for games, it's not for fun. If you're saying I'm dating for bands, then you're a bad person because you're hurting other people's children and causing them trauma and baggage for bands. Another thing I would advise you to do is protect your reputation. Protect your reputation. Protect your reputation, okay? It's first year. Obviously, you're having fun. You're not really thinking about the future. You're not really thinking about what people are going to think about you, whatnot. But let me tell you something. This is not high school. Your boss is in your class. Your boss is in the class above you. Your workmates are in the class next to you. Your connections are in that university space. And then you do something embarrassing. Embarrass yourself in front of the whole school. And trust me, when it comes to unilus, everybody will know. Everybody will be all up in your business if you do something embarrassing. And everyone will remember. Protect your reputation. Make sure everything that you do, you're thinking about, okay, do I want this following me 20 years from now? If not, don't do it. Now, I saved the best for last in this category, okay? Listen to me. You, come here. In fact, come closer. Don't become a Riz wife. This is for the girls. Don't become a Riz wife. For those of you who don't know what a Riz wife is a girl who gets into a relationship with a guy and then decides to do wife duties at a girlfriend level or less. And by less, I mean you're not even a girlfriend, you're just a talking stage and you're washing his underwear. You're cooking for him. You're washing his dishes. You listen and you judge, my sister. What you're doing is allowing him to use you for free. Like, don't do it. Don't be washing his things or cleaning his room or cooking for him or doing wife things for him, marital things for him. You know, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're going to regret it and you will lose your self-respect. Blame our parents. And I say this with 100% confidence. Ama, dad, someone's uncle and aunt, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry, but it's the truth. You guys are responsible. A lot of the times when we were being raised as girls, whenever we do duties in the house or we do chores or whatever, when we're being taught to do these things, it's never, you need to learn how to take care of yourself. You know, it's never, you need to cook for yourself. It's never, you need to clean for yourself. It's always what? And everybody say it with me now. If you don't know how to cook, who will marry you? If you don't know how to clean, who will marry you? So what are you going to do when you get married? I think this is like a very familiar phrase if you're a girl child living in Africa. And I think the reason it's so toxic is I've seen the effect it has on my dear sisters. Because what happens now, we get to university, we like a guy, and we now feel the need to prove that I can cook, I can clean, because I was taught to do these things for a man. You feel the need to do this stuff so that you prove to him that you're wifey material so that he marries you. When in reality, you don't need to be doing that. You need to do those things for him after he has married you. And for him to know that you're wifey material, all you need to do is take care of yourself, and then he will see by the way you take care of yourself that you're able to take care of things. So if you are always clean, if your place is always clean, if you always smell good, if you are always eating good, then he will know that that's your standard and that's how you take care of yourself. Therefore, if he wants that, he should also like upgrade you so that you do those things for him. Grateful I didn't become a Riz wife because I already hated men going into varsity, so I wasn't about to be doing all that for a guy. But it's very toxic and I've seen the effect it has on a lot of girls, so I would advise you not to do that, okay? The third category, which is adulting, how to be a real adult in the real world. First thing I'm going to be talking about is your finances. Make sure you have a budget. Make sure you know every month how much you're spending on your food, your groceries, your meal plan, whatever. And then if you have anything left over, use that. Don't just use as you're going and then hope it doesn't finish, because it will finish. This is my money binder. It had my name on it, but the S came off. But I will put the link down below for the company I bought this from. They do deliveries within Lusaka. Yeah, so it's basically where I keep all my things. This is like a thing that says groceries, car, meal plan. You can like basically customize your own money binder sachets so that you keep all your money where it's supposed to be when you budget. I don't like moving around with this for obvious reasons, but it helps you really like stay organized. Seems so stupid, but it's really not. When you go grocery shopping, boys, especially to you, I don't know why you guys do this. When you go grocery shopping, make a list. Make a list. If you're writing it down or if it's on your phone, doesn't matter. Just make a list of what you're buying and buy what's on your list. Don't deviate from the list, okay? Our last category of the day, because let's get this over and done with, is spirituality. I think for me, it's the most important part of this entire talk, and it's something that I wish someone sat me down and spoke to me about in the beginning, which is your relationship with God is not something you should like take half-hearted, take it very seriously, because that's what's going to get you through, you know. Spiritually, if you're really weak, you're going to end up weak in other areas of your life. And what I mean by that is you need to take time to pray, take time to talk to God, take time to go to church, you know, ground yourself in some way and like keep yourself connected to God so that you're able to go through things, because you're going to go through trials and tribulations. This next year is not just going to be easy breezy the whole time, but if you have a connection with God, make sure you have your God and your religion and you are focused on that, and like keep your values with you. And yeah, I think you also need to socialize with like-minded people. You can't be somebody who wants to get closer to God and then your best friend is an atheist. I think when the Bible talks about being unequally yoked with your partner, people should apply that to their friendships as well. Make sure you're in spaces where people will speak life into you rather than out of you. And also like make sure that the church you're going to is a church that helps you grow closer to God and doesn't make you feel like God is rejecting you. That's a lesson that I'm learning, and that's a lesson that I think a lot of people also need to learn. It's like your church is very important, the people around you is very important, the way you view life is very important, and you need to surround yourself with people where if you fall short or if you get lost along the way or if you're confused and you don't know who you are or where you're going, you have people who, you know, won't abandon you, people who direct and guide you back to God. And I think that's very important. Yeah. With that being said, good luck to you guys in your first year. All the best. I hope you nothing but success, and I think that you guys are going to do amazing. I am putting a link down below in the description that's going to be linked to Google Drive full of pre-med materials that you probably will definitely need going into this year that you're going into. Yeah, and I hope you enjoy your first year of university. There's a lot of things for you to explore. Lusaka, I think, is boring compared to where I stay, so it's very difficult for me to appreciate it. But it does have things to do, and it does have the potential to make many, many memories. Remember that 6 years is not a lot of time. I thought this first year was never going to end, and now I'm actually shocked. I'm going into second year. Soon it'll be third, fourth, fifth, then sixth, and I'll be done. 6 years is not a lot of time, guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.